To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So I decided to come down here to the city park, the closest little city that's near us. I don't want to give away my location, and I feel like I could easily do this if I don't be careful. Here we have a oak tree. I think it's oak, and it's dead. There's actually 2 or 3 different trees in this little spot here, I think. And so I saw this the other day, and I thought, man, I would really love to have this. So I went into research mode. Now, to explain why this is so difficult, you would think you could just call the city council and ask them if you could cut down the tree. This is not a typical city. And this is what you see when you come out to Missouri. I know the folks in the bigger cities just don't understand this. I've tried to explain it, and they always say, oh, just call the so-and-so. Just like the mail the other day. I was telling you, I had to call the 911 center to get mail. So many people told me, oh, it's not that hard to get mail. Just call so-and-so, just call so-and-so. It just doesn't, it's not like that out here, way out here, where people want to be free. But this city park isn't owned by anybody. This used to be an incorporated town. And I think it was 2015, don't quote me, I think it was 2015. Could have been 2013. Recently, the town decided they didn't want to be incorporated anymore. They didn't want to pay the taxes to maintain gravel roads, because this town is gravel roads. They didn't want to maintain the park anymore through taxes. The taxes were just getting too high. And that's what always happens when you have a town. They want to do improvements to the town. I mean, that's what politicians do. They were hired to do something, and so they just want to keep doing it and doing it better and doing it better. Well, the town just got fed up with it. And so they voted to unincorporate the town. Well, that leaves a city park here that nobody owns. Nobody's responsible for taking care of it. And notice how the grass is still maintained. And the pavilion is reasonably maintained. I mean, you see that somebody has come along and tried to shore it up a little bit so it's not so dangerous. You walk around, there's a ladder over here underneath the building that nobody has stolen. There's a bathroom here, a little outhouse, that is reasonably clean, considering there is nobody responsible for any of this. You come down to here to the playground equipment, and it's reasonably maintained. I mean, it's not to any government standard regulations. Oh my goodness, my children could get hurt on that monstrosity. But I would have my kids play on this. I mean, heck, when I was a kid, we played on playground equipment like this. But if you look here, I climbed up on it. It doesn't creak. This is the slide. It doesn't creak or moan or anything. Somebody has taken the time recently, I would say within the last few years, to replace the steps on this. And so it's reasonably maintained. Of course, you don't want your kids coming out here unsupervised. The swing, the same way, looks like it's been recently taken care of. That's pressure treated wood, and they even cut little corners so the kids wouldn't get stuck by the corners or scraped up. And this is how communities did it back in the 1800s. They took care of things. We didn't need a government to take care of us. We did it ourselves. So here we have a natural spring right here in the city park. And I guess, back in the day, they concreted this and water streams out. Of course, it looks like it's degraded a little bit, so somebody took a little brick here to try to shore it up. Now, I did learn that people in this town still use this stream. They come and collect the water. And there are a lot of people who believe that natural stream water is much healthier to drink than well water, chemical water, or whatever. So back to the tree, Carolyn and I were driving around the town the other day, and we saw that this tree had fallen down. So I did some investigating, trying to figure out who owns the tree. The first thing I did was, since we're unincorporated, that means the county, I guess, kind of takes over. I mean, they don't really do much here. So I did call the county seat about the park, who maintains the park. And they didn't know. And they asked me why I wanted to know. And I said, well, there's a tree that is down and that I would like to get for my firewood. And can you believe it? The county seat actually told me, oh, just go cut it. And if anybody asks, just say you were hired by the county to cut it down. What? I mean, you want me to lie to anybody who questions me? Well, I just wasn't going to do it. So a few days later, I saw someone cutting the grass here. And so I stopped him and I said hi, introduced myself, explained who I was. Who hired you to cut the grass? He says, oh, no. Nobody hires me. I do it voluntarily, so we don't have to pay taxes. And he was explaining the whole tax thing. And so I asked him about this tree. And he says, well, if I was younger, I would cut it up. He says, but I'm just getting too old to do it. He says, you're more welcome to it. But if you don't get to it quick, somebody else may get to it. And so there's this lady at the gas station who's been really friendly with Carolyn and me and talks all the time to us. And so I confirmed with her, I said, who maintains the park? She says, oh no, the community does. Said the same exact thing as the guy. I have found it interesting in the last few days. Well, I've thought this my entire life, actually. How easy it is for our society to lie. I really try hard to be a very honest person. And whenever I say that, people laugh at me. But I struggle to lie. Honesty seems to just work out so much better. I mean, I've told lies in my past. And it always seems like that it just causes more problems than it solves. And to give you an example, recently I made a video, it's a very popular video, where the sheriff department, the 911 call center, which is ran by the sheriff's department, to see if they would give me an address. I got all kinds of people telling me what my mistake was. In order to get an address, you have to have a building on the property. Well, I tore down the only existing building there was, which was a trailer. I mean, it was in bad shape. And I'm not even sure they would have classified it as a trailer if they would have actually come out and looked at it, mobile home. But the bigger issue is you can't get a permit unless you have an address. So how do you build something that doesn't have an address? And you can't get an address unless it has a building. So it was a circular thing. Government, just getting in the way of itself. And so many people came back and said, what you should have said is, yeah, it has a building on it. They would have never known the difference. Really? I have to lie to be a law-abiding citizen? I have to say, oh yeah, I got a building on it. Well, to come to find out, if I had done that, they would have come out anyways to verify there was a building on it. I would have gotten caught. I don't understand how it's so easy for folks to lie. I made a video a while back where I was talking about face masks in Walmart. I didn't complain about wearing face masks. That wasn't my complaint. I got a comment that says, no, you don't have to wear a face mask. All you have to do is tell Walmart you have a medical condition and that you can't wear a face mask. So in order for me to do what I want to do, to be a free citizen or whatever you want to call it, I have to tell someone a lie. This doesn't make sense to me. How do you go around lying about everything? But the thing I really find interesting is everybody is so mistrusting. I'll make a video telling you the truth, like the mailbox, and it was amazing to me how many people actually think I'm not telling the truth about getting mail. Oh, you gotta get mail. Everybody's getting mail. This guy's whacked out of his mind. There's no way. And just on and on and on. Basically calling me a liar because you can't trust anything. Everything's a lie, so once you learn everything's a lie, why trust anything? It's such a weird world we live in. A few years ago, I was in a discussion with somebody, and we were talking about just general rules of life. And if you think about it, 3,300 years ago, there was a set of rules written. And they seem like really easy rules to follow. And I think if we could follow these simple rules, everything would be so much easier in life. I mean, it's real simple rules. Things that are just not impossible to do. Don't go around killing people. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Don't steal things. Yeah, that's a great idea. Don't lie. Huh. Who would ever thought that one? If I just tell the truth, the best I know how, things seem to work out. Yeah, sometimes you got to work harder because of the truth, but you're going to get caught in that lie. Don't chase after your neighbor's wife. Wow, that one's a really good idea because your wife is going to get really mad and her husband is going to get really mad. And it's just going to cause problems. And you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to lie. If your neighbor buys a new car and you don't have that new car, Be happy with what you got. I just wanted to throw this out there that, life is so much easier. Yeah, I had to do some work to actually come down and find out if I could get this tree. But if I'd have just went with what the county seat would have told me, just lie. I mean, I could be in jail for stealing a tree. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why would we do this? Nobody's going to care. Everybody cares when you lie to them. That's why we're so mistrusting. So this is one of the reasons why Carolyn and I live isolated, off-grid, is so we don't have to go around breaking rules just to be law-abiding citizens. So I hope I can inspire you to take a second look at things and say, you know what? It's not that much work to do it right. Thanks for watching.